All right, I'm trading one ticker, one system, S&P 500 futures every single day for a full year. And I'm journaling each session to track the progress, reflect, and sharpen execution. So if you're serious about treating trading like a business, you're in the right place. Stick around. At the end, I'll share levels that I'm watching for tomorrow. So let's dive in. So for today, I made about $196.94. Pretty good day, 85% chance of win rate today. The reason that I had a only the only reason I had a bad trade this morning was because I started a position overnight. I was expecting the market not to run this much. I was expecting it to kind of cap at this previous all-time high. Didn't happen. We kept pushing higher and higher this morning on almost no news other than just Elon Musk buying $1 billion of his own shares. And that pushed Tesla up a lot. And I guess that kind of pushed the tech sector up a little bit. But after that, I just kind of watched the market. I waited. I checked the gamma levels. The gamma level was saying that 6680 was somewhat going to be the top today. And SPX, that was 6620. And so I just waited for that level to hit. And once it hit, I shorted. And then we went down from there. Overall, it was a pretty easy day. We had a bunch of signals from the VX algo system as well. I'll go over them here, see how that worked out there. So market structure started bullish, more bullish market structure, and then at 11, 11, 12, somewhere around here, I guess, we had a buy signal. We had a DD buy, and also at the same time, 11:36, we had like a X3 sell, which is around here. So this was saying, oh, you want to buy the dip, and this is saying we think we're gonna go down term eventually, some point within the next 1 to 3 hours. And then that ended up happening later in the day there. Market structure at 1 p.m. also flipped bearish. So that was over here. We had bear market structure flip. We had this push up a little bit, and then we went down further, which is telling us a short auto resistance on that market structure. And then eventually we pushed up again to this resistance and the moving average there. And then we came all the way back down to the MOB. And this was where I bought the dip a little bit, made some money there, and I exited and called it a day for around $200. So it was pretty good day. But the one thing that was pretty weird was that we have VIX, which is typically a hedge against the market. And the reason this is a hedge is because this is what hedge funds love to use. Uh, because most hedge funds, when they run a portfolio, they tend to have a bunch of stocks. They can have a basket of stocks, right? They can have everything from Microsoft, Apple to Tesla to Netflix to whatever. And if they think the market is going to go down, they're not going to go buy put positions on every single one of the stocks. They're just going to buy VIX, which is one thing, and one thing only. It just goes up when market is supposed to be going down, or it usually goes up when there's increased volatility, and that happens when market is going down. But the weird thing is, market had no volatility today. You know, like it was pretty choppy. It didn't move much, and VIX just kept grinding up all day from 9:30 to end of the day. And what that means is that institutional investors such as hedge funds, banks, and all that stuff, they just been loading the hell out of VIX. They did, so they're expecting something to happen if they're loading up VIX like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting to point out. I think we also are going to have a very wild Wednesday as things play out, depending on what the rate cuts is. If they do come out with a 50-point rate, big basis point rate cut, then all hell's going to get break loose and we'll probably see a crash in the market. And those will be the highest the market is. Speaking of that, I will probably rebalance my portfolio and start hedging. I'll probably sell in some of the stuff that I'm up a lot and reduce my position, just have a little bit more dry powder and cash ready in case we do get a 10% drop to buy the dip. So, oh, almost forgot to go over key levels for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, the key levels that I'm watching for. Oh, we also just roll over the contracts today too on ES. So now we're up like 100 plus points because we just rolled it over. All right, so 66.45 is on the level watching for, and 66.35. So levels are very tight now. So essentially, I think if we backtest this, I'm expecting this area to somewhat hold. If this area does not hold and we break down to the next area, I'm expecting this one last zone to hold. If this doesn't hold, this is a previous low from here. If we just go through both of these, I'm expecting the back test for it to drop more. Expecting all hell to break loose and for this to keep dropping to the next levels and the next level and the next level. So I hope that helps. If you got value from this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on how your trading day went. Thank you and have a great day.